Hey guys, how's it going? Got another knife video for you today. I know there's a ton of videos out there right now on the brand new Chris Reeve Sebenza 25, so I'm not going to do a whole big, review on it, or at least try not to. I'm just going to pretty much go over my impressions of it and what I think about it so far. I used to own a large Sebenza 21, and from what I could remember about that knife, they're pretty similar. I mean, I've seen, comparison videos out there where you can see some pretty big differences, namely the new finger choils in the handle and the larger pivot and the flat ground blade as opposed to a hollow ground blade. You don't have the hole in the back of the scale anymore. A couple other minor changes, but I mean, it's still, to me, it's still, a Sebenza. A Sebenza is a Sebenza. I mean, this is the new version. Obviously, I think this is probably definitely an upgrade to the 21. I definitely wouldn't be saying that it's a totally different knife, because I mean, if you showed this knife in a Sebenza 21 to anybody who's not really into knives or knows the particulars about these two knives, I'm sure they wouldn't be able to tell the difference. So basically, I've had this thing for, I don't know, about maybe a week and a half now, and I think I've pretty much been carrying it every day. I haven't gotten much use on it, but I've definitely been carrying it every day, and that's actually surprising because I tend to not carry a knife for more than a day or two, even if it's a new knife. But this thing, for some reason, just finds itself into my pocket, and you can see I've already got a nice little love tap here. Don't know how that happened, but whatever. I guess that kind of lets me not care as much, since I've already got a little scratch on it. The good thing about a high-end knife like this, Chris Reeve, you could always send it back to his shop to have everything re-bead blasted back to new condition. So that's always nice, knowing that you can take this very expensive, high-value knife and thrash it and beat it, and send it back and get a little spa treatment and come back in new condition. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, I really love this thing. It's got your standard full titanium handle scales. That's common with all Sebenzas. You've got a very beautiful stonewashed S35 VN blade. It's got double thumb lugs, which I don't really care either way. It does add 30 or 35 bucks to the cost of the blade, but I mean, that's the only option with the 25s. I mean, I guess aesthetically it's pretty nice. You got these really nice blue anodized titanium thumb studs. Although functionally they're not my favorite thumb studs in the world, because they're just so rounded, and I find myself having trouble sometimes getting a good purchase on it with my thumb without having to really dig my thumb onto it. But they're not bad. And another, I guess probably one of the main changes between this and the 21 is the lack of a bushing system in the pivot. So if you tighten this thing down, you're going to lock the blade up, whereas with the bushing system in the 21s, you can tighten it down. Sorry, you can tighten it down all you want, and it's not going to change the amount of friction or force put onto the blade. So this has got more of a traditional pivot system, which also allows. Wow, that's interesting. I just noticed that this screw is loose. Well, I guess I'll have to put some Loctite on that and tighten it up. That's odd, especially since I haven't done anything to it. But anyway, so it's easier to, you know, flick open. I know you're technically not really supposed to do that with a Sebenza, but whatever, it does it. So, and it does it so nicely. The finger choils are done really nicely. It adds a very nice grip to the knife. I really like that. It makes it really comfortable to hold. And he revised the jimping here. You got really nice jimping. It kind of alternates in pattern. Don't know if you can always see that, but it's nice and sharp. It gives you a really good purchase on the blade. So I definitely like the redo of the jimping. What else can I say? I mean, it's a Sebenza. It is a Sebenza 25, so it's a little bit different. But I mean, overall, to me, it's just a Sebenza, and that's, you know, not saying anything bad about the knife. It's a Sebenza. It's just an awesome knife. I'm really enjoying it for how plain the Sebenzas are. You know, compared to, say, I don't know, like let's just say a custom like this Hoback Warhorse. For how plain this thing is compared to some of the more high-end customs out there, you know, this thing really holds its own. It's really a workhorse, and it's definitely a knife that finds itself in your pocket more often than you might expect it, and that's definitely how it's come to be with me, at least. So I'll just give a quick run over of a rundown of the specs. Overall, you got a 8 1/3 inch length when it's opened. You have a 3.6 inch blade. As I said, it's S35 VN blade steel. The blade thickness is 0.14 inches. The handle, or obviously the 6AL4V titanium, you know, your standard titanium for your high-end frame locks. And as I said, it's obviously got bead blast, like most of the Sebenzas, the ones that aren't the unique graphic ones. And it's got an overall weight of 5.2 ounces, which is actually surprising, considering it's not a huge knife. I mean, it's not a small knife, but it's not too chunky. You know, I wouldn't expect it to be that heavy, but I guess it is all metal. See, it's got a perfect centering here. Another detail I always love about the Sebenzas is the really nice rounded spine. Just like that detail. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. For any of you that don't really know how Sebenzas line up in size with some other knives, I'll throw a couple out here. Here's the ZT 560, pretty much identical in length. Here's a Strider S&G. It's going to be a little bit longer than the S&G, not by much, but a little bit. And just for fun, we'll throw a Spyderco Paramilitary 2 out there, about the same size as the SNG, so the Sebenza is a little bit longer. And that's pretty much it. That's just my quick take on the Sebenza 25. I definitely recommend it because it is an awesome knife. And if you don't own a Sebenza, whether it's a 21 or a 25 or, you know, anything else, any variation thereof, I definitely recommend that you look towards getting one, because I don't think any knife collection is really complete without a Chris Reeves Sebenza. So there you go. Thanks for watching, and come back for some more videos.